These last few months have really been quite an ocean of drama, pun intended, for Oceano. You likely will remember the whole situation with the America's Rejects tour that was announced a few months ago. I think that was back in November. That was the tour with Attila, Dealer, and Oceano. I did a video on that entire saga. I'll put a link to it down below. But for a very quick recap to set up the news story, when that tour was announced, there was backlash fired towards Oceano as a number of band members that were on that tour have been accused of sexual misconduct in the past. That would be mainly Franz from Attila, Attila's bassist, Kalen Blem, and Aiden Holmes from Dealer, who of course used to be an Alpha Wolf. Oceano's vocalist, Adam Warren, then put out a number of super lengthy posts on social media explaining that he wasn't aware of the accusations against some of the other band members on the tour, and then spent a bunch of time justifying Oceano being on the tour, only to then announce later that same week, again I think this was back in November, that not only was Oceano off of the America's Rejects tour, but that the band would be playing their final shows in 2025. They were ultimately replaced on the America's Rejects tour by Butcher Babies, and the band Dead was also added to the lineup. It all goes a fair bit deeper than that, but that's essentially the gist of it. Again, the video I did on that entire saga is linked down below. So there's all that to set up the most recent set of events, which brings us up to last week when Oceano announced their farewell tour with support from I Declare War, See You Next Tuesday, which, my God, what a band name, Filth, and Backbiter. This was the artwork that the band had for the tour, which proved to be a major point of controversy, as almost immediately as the tour was announced, graphic designer Chris Gallion put out a post to social media saying that the band essentially ripped off his work. I guess he submitted an initial design to the band. Apparently it did not make the cut, but the one that they ended up using was essentially the same as Chris Gallion's, only with some slight alterations. Here's what Chris says in his post. Yeah, I'm not keeping my mouth shut. Don't meet your heroes. They'll take advantage of you. That Oceano tour flyer that dropped yesterday was my work and I got zero credit for it. Straight up, hey, you can copy my homework, just change it up a little. I was told my flyer didn't make the cut, and then see that my work was completely ripped off and plagiarized. With that being said, I'm not working with Adam or Oceano on anything moving forward. That's the last time I do anything without upfront deposits and contracts. Even the big boys will play you. So that post unsurprisingly sparked a social media frenzy. In the comment section on that post, Chris Gallion shared some screenshots of text messages between him and Adam Warren from the band going back and forth. Chris's wife apparently saw the artwork when the tour was announced and congratulated him, thinking that it was his work. Adam saying he didn't like Chris's version and the new one looks better. And then it appears that eventually Adam did end up paying Chris $100 to try to ease the tension, which Adam says is $50 less than what he paid for the final product that the band ended up using. Again, I really cannot stress, if you didn't see or hear about this, how big of a thing this really was. I mean, everyone online was sharing Chris's post. Everyone's calling out Oceano. It was all over the place immediately after the tour was announced. It was going on for days. I'm still seeing some discourse about all of this. And all of that led to the band completely wiping their social media. All posts beyond October 2017 have been deleted on their Facebook. All mentions of the tour. The band's Instagram is now private. It says 0 posts. The band has basically disappeared. I can't find Adam Warren on socials either. Not saying he for sure deleted his personal accounts, but I cannot find them anymore. So Oceano completely evaporates essentially, and then yesterday, which would have been Sunday, one of the support bands on Oceano's final tour, which, I mean, given all the drama, who knows if it's even happening now, but the band See You Next Tuesday has dropped off of the tour because of the artwork situation. Here's what they said in a statement on social media. Half of See You Next Tuesday's members are visual artists and rely on art as their sole income. Given the current tour poster situation, it has presented a huge dilemma for us, challenging our morality and standards as artists. We stand against things like AI stealing art from hardworking artists for the profit of the less creative, with zero recognition to the original artists. This may seem like a minor problem to people outside of the art world, but it is seriously damaging to the livelihoods of artists who use their art to support themselves and their families. The situation between Oceano and the original artist of the tour poster, Chris Gallion, although a different type of situation, awkwardly aligns itself with the same reasons we despise AI. In the end, we as a band have decided we are not comfortable with the current situation and will no longer be part of of this tour. We would like to apologize to everyone who worked on making the tour happen for us and anyone who is looking forward to seeing us live. Lastly, we hope a positive resolution can be reached between all other parties involved. So now See You Next Tuesday is off of the tour. Again, Oceano have removed absolutely everything having to do with it. Social accounts completely wiped. There's nothing on I Declare War's pages about it. Filth still has it posted on their Facebook page, but they haven't posted anything on there since, so that doesn't really tell anything one way or the other. So as of the time of filming this, I mean, who knows if this tour is actually happening. As of this moment, tickets are still available for the show, so take that for what you will, but I don't know. I think at this point, it really could go either way, given all the drama. See You Next Tuesday dropping off. I Declare War having no posts about it. Oceano's socials all but disappearing. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. If it does happen, it's set to begin on May 13th. But as we've seen in just the last few days, I mean, you know, look what everything that's gone wrong in the last few days. Imagine what can go wrong in the span of months. I mean, we're 2.5 months out from that tour, you know, set to begin. So a lot can happen in that time frame. It will be interesting to see what happens nonetheless. But for now, that's all I got for you. Thanks so much for hanging out. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe below if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time.